On the last episode, we met Africa's city builders.
What started this dream was when I set up this business in London, almost 20 years ago now. After about 5-6 years of getting, battering about in Europe, I decided to go to Africa, a destination and an area that I know very well.
We found out the secrets to success in Cape Town's property scene.
The key to success for an investor in the real estate market in Cape Town has been the same as what it has for the last 100 years, and that's location, location, and location.
And learned what it takes to win the game.
You name it, successful marketing, good planning, wonderful architects and engineers and professionals helping you along the way, and a large dollop of luck.
This time around, we look at Africa's potential as a home away from home and learn more tips of the property trade.
There are a lot of people who are extremely wealthy, but who may find it difficult to deliver a project of this standard simply because they don't have the time. They don't have the capacity to actually follow every stage of the design and construction, which is what I did. I was able to find the time to follow the design and the construction to the last square meter of marble or of tile laid.
And we keep our eyes on Lagos, Nigeria.
Lagos is a focus, major international airport, huge number of airlines flying in, both international and domestic. So it is inevitable that the highest volume of demand for quality hotel accommodation is in Lagos. So people looking in are saying, yeah, we could make money from developing hotels there.
The tourism sector in Africa is said to be one of the fastest growing in the world. Visitors are attracted to the rich culture, heritage, and natural beauty of Africa. While the South African market continues to see a rise in the number of international visitors flooding in, Nigeria has not done as well as expected over the past 3 years. The outlook remains bleak as the real estate sector sits in a recession.
The hotel industry relies on the oil and gas industry for its demand for its hotel rooms. And we all know what's happened since 2014 with the plunge in prices, 2015 the plunge in output. It eggs in one basket. When the oil and gas industry, the oil and gas economy is not thriving, the Lagos hotel industry also catches a cold.
But this isn't stopping savvy investors from coming into the market. Lagos has seen an increase in the number of luxury hospitality brands springing up, one of which is the George Hotel, located in the affluent suburb of Ikoyi and owned by entrepreneur Tien George. His passion for real estate led to the realization of his hospitality brand.
Now we're here, of course, in your beautiful hotel, the George, and I've spoken to you a lot of times, and we've spoken about the hospitality industry. Today we want to focus on real estate. We want to know the background story, because when you see a building like this, it's a beautiful place and you think tourism, but at the same time there's real estate and there's infrastructure. So we want to talk about that real estate journey.
It's interesting if I tell you that the original driver for this hotel was just to do real estate. Yes, I've always built. I started building about 25 to 30 years ago. I just like to build. And it started from just before I started my university education. I got admitted to read finance, and I went to the university and I told them I want to transfer to architecture. So I'd always had a flair for design and construction. So when it came to this project, I decided that I wanted to do a very beautiful project. I wanted to build something really, really iconic. And then I said, the way to do it is to tie it with hospitality. So the first driver was real estate, and I always felt that real estate always held value, because if you have good real estate, they always held value.
Mm-hmm. And what is that process of putting up a hotel? Obviously, we're thinking real estate, we're thinking hospitality, so more from a real estate point of view this time.
Yeah, I think the first thing is to have a vision for the niche you want to play. Have a vision for the level that you want to play. Once you decide the vision you want to play, you have to then gather the consultants who are able and capable in those areas and in those levels, and then you have to pass on the vision you have, so that when you stretch them, they know that you've already given them advance notice that you will stretch them.
What about the challenges or the roadblocks that you faced, putting up a hotel?
The challenges are Herculean. I can tell you that first and foremost, it's difficult to get the workmen to deliver to the standard you want. So those are trade problems, industry problems, construction problems. And secondly, it is also sometimes difficult to get the consultants to stretch themselves. But you have to persist and you have to insist. Thirdly, you have the usual problem of governmental authorities coming to demand one thing or the other, and sometimes holding you up, sometimes delaying you, sometimes actually asking you to hold on to stop work. Those are things that I believe the government is aware and they're trying to sort out. And then you have the issue of finance. The interest rates are very high, and you have to have a lot of equity, your own equity. And then the actual management of the hotel is, I tell you, it's not easy. If you want to deliver first-class service, five-star service, you have to train and retrain and retrain, and you have to follow up with your staff, and then you'll get there.
And he did get there. While many hotels on the pipeline in Lagos sit on paper, Tien managed to get his built within 3 years. And he would have done it a lot quicker, but his eye for perfection meant that in some cases, work done had to be repeated until the boss was satisfied.
We were talking about the challenges that you faced in your journey as a real estate entrepreneur, obviously in the hospitality space. So let's start this time by talking about the opportunities for those who would like to tap into this, either the real estate market or the hospitality space, or both.
Commercial real estate, it's just beginning to come through. There are about 5-6 very good grade A developments going on in Ikoyi and Victoria Island, especially along the Ikoyi axis, Kingsway axis. So unfortunately, the general economic outlook is poor, so it appears that even that is becoming saturated, but I think it's very short term. For residential real estate, I think for the medium term, for the Ikoyi and Victoria Island area, I think people have to be cautious and to do their calculations properly before embarking on new developments for flats and apartments. But for the medium to lower level residential real estate, I think there's still a lot of opportunity.
All right, and now speaking of the macroeconomic angle, when you look at the forex issues that we've had here in Nigeria, I mean, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that there are a lot of challenges in regards to foreign exchange. Now, I just want to know how this is impacting on the real estate sector, because we're kind of used to, in the past, we're used to a lot of people charging in foreign currencies, for some of these, high-end buildings, but then, of course, the government came out and said they don't want anyone to be charging dollars anymore and everyone should go, do it in Naira. So tell us just how that has impacted on the market, and also just how that has impacted on the, the cost of building.
Okay, first, that's a very good question. First, the policy about not charging in dollars in Nigeria. First, I think it is a policy that has to be reconsidered, because I don't think it's the government's business to legislate between how two private individuals want to transact. The important thing is that everybody recognizes that the currency of Nigeria is the naira. And if a party is willing to pay the naira, it should pay. If a party is willing to pay US dollars, there's no reason asking that party shouldn't pay US dollars. Don't forget that contracts are between private entities who are not under duress. So I don't see what the government wants to achieve by asking people not to transact in any currency of their choice. So it is something that defies economic logic. Number two, the second question is, how does the scarcity of foreign currency affect construction? It is almost a near disaster because almost every item of input is imported, and there are not enough dollars in the country. The government do not have, private citizens don't have enough dollars. Most people depend on the federal government for dollars, the CBN for dollars, and the dollars are not there. For those who have started their projects, they have to see it through, because if you don't finish, you can never get any revenues. So they have to try at a higher cost to deliver those projects, but new ones will be severely impacted.
Earlier on, you were talking about how you had a choice. You could have decided to build an apartment block or an office block, and you decided to go with hospitality. So when you compare sort of how lucrative, the real estate or residential or commercial space is in comparison to the hospitality space.
The hospitality industry, real estate, is far more lucrative today than residential real estate, and even today than commercial real estate. But I believe commercial real estate will pick up far faster than residential real estate.
Let's leave it there. It's been a great conversation. Obviously, as you say, hotels, that way is the way to go. Hospitality is the way to go. Thank you so much.
Our search for property stories beating the recession in Nigeria continues. Some say that the right location makes all the difference, even in tough times.
Hotels love mixed-use developments because of these wonderful synergies that are created.
But for others, it's also about creating a unique brand.
I decided to go into it to create what I would call truly the first boutique style, property.
While some investors have played it safe by passing on the capital cost of their hotels to property owners, others have gone on to take greater risk by investing in their own real estate portfolios.
The real estate market in Nigeria is a very cost-intensive one, so you have to have a deep pocket, to go into it. But at the time that we started this project, my model was what I would call a quick win. Take a lease on the property, rebrand the property, turn it around. So that was the first step we took here. So for me, that would be an easy way of achieving my objectives without having to tie down too much property. Subsequently, the owners of the property wanted to sell, so we were forced to buy.
Anselm Tabansi started off in interior. Today, he owns 2 luxury boutique hotels in Victoria Island, Lagos. He is confident that even in a recession, opportunities still exist in the hospitality sector.
The hospitality industry in Nigeria is going through a rebirth at the moment. A lot of the properties that have been in the market, they are somewhat dated. And so for any person who has a little bit of money, can pick some of those properties, either outright sale or perhaps maybe long lease, and then put in a little bit of money and turn them around. A lot of them require a little bit of tender loving care right now, because they perhaps maybe the owners over the years have not injected funds to upgrade. So for any person who wants to come into the market, I think that if you don't have a cachet of funds to play with, perhaps maybe that might be the angle, you know, to come in through.
What are your thoughts on Africa's place in the real estate global scene?
2-3 years ago, I mean, Africa was started as a new frontier for business. Nigeria seemed, you know, to be the destination for a lot of new money, you know, coming in from Europe and America. But, you know, things suddenly turned around in a very short period of time. Currently, I think there's a little bit of skepticism amongst foreign investors, but still, the opportunities are here, and any person who is bold enough to invest now that is a lull in the market, and actually can get bargains now there's you know, a dearth of capital, you know, in the market. A lot more people will be willing, you know, to offload their properties, you know, at a cheaper rate. So any person that is interested, this is the time to actually invest. Yes, you know, there's a lot of competition in the market, but in terms of the premium, you know, boutique segment, there's, you know, virtually none. And that's the niche that we're occupying right now.
These entrepreneurs have found the right ingredients required to make it big while building a bridge between the real estate market and the hospitality scene. But it's not just about hotels. The hospitality industry in Lagos is drawing in other well-known brands.
We are one of the most popular brands in the world. We have close to 165 Hard Rock cafes in 70 countries. And we opted to come in Lagos in December. And from that onwards, it's been a fantastic response from the people in Lagos, as well as the Nigerian as a public has actually taken us very well.
And for these players, finding the right property partner makes all the difference.
Why is it that we're having a lot of hospitality players coming in now? Because obviously we're in a recession in Nigeria, and you know, many people would have thought that this is the time for them to be running out, but then you have brands like Hard Rock, Shiro coming in at a time of recession. Why do you think we're seeing this influx all of a sudden?
I think they just really see the opportunity that we have here in Nigeria, particularly Lagos. We've got a huge number of people that live here, so it's an untapped market, and they can identify with that opportunity. I think it's the right time. We deserve these international brands. We're a nation that desires good things.
How does it work though? Because say I was a hospitality brand, I wanted to come into you know, these parts, and then I came to, you know, your company. What is that process? How does it all get to come together?
What we would typically do, if a hospitality brand was looking to come into Lagos or Nigeria, we're a real estate developer and they need real estate to establish their business. And so they would typically come to us. We would identify whether or not, firstly, is it a brand that we would like to associate ourselves with? Does it have that quality? Does it ring that international brand that we like to associate ourselves with? And then what type of facility do they require, and what's their business model? Is it something that will be profitable in this environment? So you have to be very careful about selecting the brands that you bring in. So brands like Hard Rock Cafe, it's just a worldwide, it's a very well-known brand, so you know it's going to be successful here. Shiro has a very unique concept. It's a what we maybe class as a high-end Japanese-style restaurant, and again, it's going to be very successful. It has been very successful. So those are the things you have to look at. What can I provide the facility, and will this business be successful?
Let's talk about that journey with Shiro. Because of course you just mentioned that they've been successful so far. But how did it all start?
Well, it started off with our dream for this landmark village site. We have this beautiful beachfront location, and we decided that we wanted to create a premier lifestyle destination. We wanted a location that will attract Nigerians, it will attract the locals, it will attract the international players. And we wanted to create something unique to Nigeria as well. We wanted to bring in brands that we'd never seen before. So we love the Hard Rock brand, and we have very good connections with the franchise owners. So it's just a case of putting yourselves in the same space as these players and selling the story.
Is it challenging though, obviously being that you're running a property company and then also you're getting involved in hospitality? There must be some unique challenges that come with that.
Well, the unique challenges is if you're a mixed-use player like we are, is just understanding the nature of each type of business and the unique needs that each type of business wants. So somebody who's looking for commercial office space will have a very, very different need from someone like Shiro, who's running a restaurant. And so research is key. And one of our strong points is we do that research. We try and understand our clients' true needs, and then we build to spec to their right specifications. We try and provide a mixed-use environment for our clients because we believe that wherever you go, that you have a wide variety of needs. Our aim is to create a fantastic lifestyle destination, and in order to do that, to have a lifestyle, hospitality just marries with that. So that's why we have the Landmark Hotel, and we even have a larger hotel development that we're working on. We've got this Shiro restaurant, which is a fantastic brand, and we've got the Hard Rock Cafe brand. So all of that feeds into the whole lifestyle destination theme that we're trying to push forward on.
I know you mentioned that you have a hotel coming up. So besides, well, tell us about the hotel, and then besides that, I guess, there must be some other things that are going to pop.
Yeah, we've got some very exciting plans. As we said, we're creating a lifestyle destination. Landmark Village is going to be the go-to location in Lagos, we believe, in the next 3 to 5 years. So we've got the convention center. It's the largest in Nigeria at the moment. We've got the Hard Rock Cafe in the Shiro. We've got a 4-star hotel coming up. We've got an IMAX cinema, some children's facilities. We've got residential apartments and office developments. It's a true mixed-use site, and we want some people to come in and experience that living, that lifestyle that we're trying to create here on the site.
How does getting the right property partner contribute to the success of a hospitality brand in a market like this?
Oh gosh, it's very, very important. You want to partner with people that have, there needs to be alignment. They need to share your vision. They need to know how to use your business. As we said, we build the buildings, but your partner is providing the services. So it's key that you're partnering with the right person that will provide the right sort of service that will keep people coming back. If your building isn't used and people aren't coming to it, then it's not a success. So it's very, very important that your partner knows exactly how to provide that quality service that Nigerians are looking for.
Fantastic. Well, then you guys are doing a great job. I definitely love this. Can't wait to get into the drinks.
Join us next time as we share the stories of the young property players changing the face of Africa.